Chivanurta, Devan Saraswatam Vyasam, Sutarvyamadhiraya, Nastapayeshu Vajreshu Nityam Bhavata Sevaya, Bhavitva Shloke Bhakti Bhakti Nashiki, Krishna Sudamo Bhagate Dharmaganani Visa, Kulonasta Vishamesha, Puranakudanavidha, Savedanta Sarmahi, Shivagatam Eshite, Sarvasami Chutasya, Anyacha Sarvachi Kuchit, Krishna Tuya Bhagavata, Sarvashrai, Pratikshaya Pratikshaya, Navatikai, Maya Bhagavata, Sri Krishna, Sri Anga, Jayate Krishna, Gauri Krishna. So Srimad, this Saturday Srimad Bhagavatam class, December 7th, 2025. I think it's too loud. Too loud. Bless. Yes, thing is feedback. Feedback? No. Okay, yes, okay, that's okay. So we're discussing chapter 2 of Srimad Bhagavatam, or excuse me, chapter 3, which is entitled Yamaraj instructs his servants Yamadutas. Basically, in this chapter, Vishnu summarized it, says that Yamaraj basically reiterates or repeats the instructions given by the Vishnu Dutas to the Yamadutas about the glories and power of the holy name. So it's kind of like a repeat of chapter 2 in some ways. Because Ajamila chanted the holy name when he's leaving his body, he chanted Narayan. And the Vishnu Dutas came and Yamadutas came and had a discussion about the power of Nam Tattva. So they were bewildered because they thought that they were frustrated in their duty. So when the Yamadutas returned to Yamaloka, they asked Yamaraj what happened, why we couldn't take Ajamila, and then Yamaraj repeated the basic Nam Tattva that they already heard from Vishnu Dutas. That's basically the subject matter of chapter 3. We can see the summary of this chapter in BBT. Yamaraj explained Bhagavad Dharma, which is service to Bhagavan, Bhakti Yoga. Bhagavad Dharma is basically the real meaning of Bhagavad Dharma is to serve Vishnu, Krishna. So Yamaraj repeated all the Nam Tattva that Vishnu Dutas already explained to the Yamadutas. So you heard it again. So he said, if I chant holy name, Ajamila met the 4 Vishnu Dutas were very beautiful. I quickly come to rescue him. Yamaraj described them because the Yamadutas didn't think there was anyone more powerful than their boss, Yamaraj, and no more powerful than them because their boss is Lord of Death. And they're the servants of the Lord of Death to take everyone to hell. So now somebody came along who were very handsome, not ugly like the Yamadutas. And they stopped the Yamadutas and they interfered with their seva and stopped the death of Ajamila. So when the Yamadutas returned to Yamaraj, they were bewildered. They said, we thought you were the greatest God in the world. No one escapes death. For one who was born, death is certain. So how is it possible that these guys are more powerful than we? And this guy that they represent, Vishnu, is more powerful than you. And so then Yamaraj said, I work for Vishnu. He's my boss. So he explained those guys that you were surprised to meet were the Vishnu Dutas. And interesting in that conversation, we'll see a verse later in the chapter, it's repeated here in the summary, that the Yamaraj said that Vishnu Bhaktas take birth different places in the material world, just the same conditioned soul. Generally, we read in the Shastra, all the avatars have appeared basically in an earth planet in Bharat Bhumi in India. All the avatars, all the great sages and rishis. We don't hear about Parasarmuni or Vyasadeva appearing in London or Paris. They all appear in the Himalayas and Badrika Ashram or South India and Vegas on Holy River. But Yamaraj is telling Yamadutas that great devotees of Krishna appear everywhere, anywhere in the world to spread bhakti. So this kind of indicates, which interesting verse we'll discuss, it's like a foreshadowing of the future. Because what time period was the Ajamila Lila? What yuga?
Mostly.
It seems like Kali Yuga because he was so fallen.
Yeah.
Because he was doing a Brahmin to be such a fallen condition. But, we couldn't imagine such a thing, having the Brahmins in Sat Yuga, Treta Yuga, or even Dwapara Yuga. But Kali Yuga is everyday affair. Brahmins and gurus and godmen, the godmen of India. They go to jail, they're behind bars and giving lectures, Bhagavad sometimes from jail. It's a fact.
Yes, good.
Kirtananda was in jail, was giving Bhagavatam class. It's a fact. So, he's a God man. So what we're saying here is that the Yamaraj is giving a prediction that devotees appear in different places of the world to spread Krishna Bhakti and liberate souls. Just like the Vishnu Dutas, they're devotees of Vishnu. They came to, where was the Ajamila living? Kanyakuja. What's the modern name of Kanyakuja? Kanpur. He was living in Kanpur in India, and the Vishnudutas came to India, not London or Paris, and they came here to liberate him. So of course, they came from Vaikuntha, they weren't born there. But Yamaraj is saying that in this age, devotees of Vishnu will be born all over the world to engage, to liberate conditioned souls, just like Vishnudutas came to liberate Ajamila. So this is a very interesting verse we'll see. So this means that Yamaraj is predicting the appearance of Badan Maharaj in Canada, and Satyananda Swami in Germany, and Shiva Ram Maharaj in Canada, and all these different devotees born in different places. They're engaged in spreading bhakti and liberating conditioned souls. It's interesting to see that the Bhagavatam is almost, one could even say that the Vishnudutas were predicting ISKCON. Because ISKCON is all over the world with 50,000 centers around every year. It's like, there's more centers of ISKCON than there are McDonald's, So that's good, that's a good thing. So they're liberating souls and preaching everywhere. So Yamaraj continues, says, the essence of Dharma is extremely confidential. And Yamaraj described the glories of the Lord and His devotees. So that's the chapter summary. So let's look at key verses from this chapter. Because you already studied it minutely, I'm sure.
Yes.
You pored over every Sanskrit word and word-for-word meaning and consulted different commentaries from 11 different acharyas. And went on AI and asked penetrating questions to deepen your understanding. So that all being done, we don't have so much to discuss today. But I'll try to highlight a few verses. Let me ask you, what's the most important verse in this chapter? Since you know it so thoroughly.
Swayambhu Narada, that also, and Swayambhu Narada, Swayambhu Kumaro, couple of them. And
Yeah, go up a little bit more, go one before that.
one before that is Dharmasya Tattvam Nihitam Guhayam Mahajano Yanagatasi. That verse. Dharmam tu Sakshat Bhagavad Pranitam.
There must be that bias. Yeah, you're correct. The answer is correct. From the third chapter, the most important verse of the chapter, or verse number 19 and 20. This is the basic gist of what Yamaraj taught the Yamadutas, that the essence, the truth of religion is directly revealed by Bhagavan himself. That's the way he comes. Whenever Bhagavan comes, he comes for the three purposes. What are they?
Vitrayanaya sadhunam vinashaya
Sanskrit answer. Okay.
Dharma samsthapanardhaya sambhavam yuge yuge.
English, three purposes.
To protect his devotees, to kill the demons, and to establish the principles of religion, dharma.
Number two, protect the devotees and establish religion. What's the third one?
To establish dharma.
To kill the demons.
Kill the demons.
Kill the demons is part of establishing religion.
To perform Lila.
To give mercy to his bhaktas by showing his sweet Lilas. Three purposes he come here. That Dharma stuff, that's for Vishnu, Ram, and Nrsimha. Bhagavad Gita chapter 4, verse 7 and 8. 4, 7 and 8. What are they? Yada yada dharmasya glanir bhavati bharata abhyanam dharmasya tadanam srijamya paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya ch dharma samsthapanarthaya sambhavami yuge. So these two verses reveal 2 points: dharma and killing, and protecting devotees. Protecting devotees is part of killing demons. We kill the demons to protect devotees. That's 2. The third one is hidden in the Bhagavatam. That he comes to show us Lila, especially Vrindavan Lila, to attract Krishna to a sweet, charming pastime, to attract conditioned souls to a sweet, charming pastime. Because mostly conditioned souls are attracted to kissing, embracing, dancing with beautiful girls. So okay, we got something for you. Raslila. Raslila is all about kissing, embracing beautiful girls, and dancing. Not in the disco, but out on the beach stand under the midnight moon of Sharon Purnima. Ideal place for rasa dance. So that's sweet, attractive Leelas. That's the real thing. It really captures the heart. Because the other thing captures your mind and maybe gives you the idea God is my Savior, God died for our sins, all that kind of Christian idea. That's kind of parallel in Hinduism. But the real beauty of Hinduism is the sweetness and intimacy of Krishna, Bhagavan's Lila, Bhagavan Sri Krishna Lilas, which captures the heart not only Hindus, but everyone in the whole universe. Even devatas and devis and trees and birds and cats and dogs and human beings too. So we're lucky we're included in the list. So, verse 19. Dharmantu Sakshat Bhagavad Pranitam. You search this on the PVC folio, you'll find it probably quoted this verse 10,000 times. At least. Dharmantu Sakshat Bhagavad Pranitam. Well, Pranita means to establish. Wait, let me just see what it means. I forget what it means. Let me see that. This one's really good. I listen to all Prabhupada say hundreds of times. That's how you memorize verses, just listen to tapes over and over again. Pranitam, enacted, showed, displayed, portrayed, pranitam. Dharma, sakshat, directly, Bhagavan directly comes to show how to do it. Ekpatni Brata, Mariana Avatar, how to behave, how to conduct yourself, Ramachandra. How to treat your son, how to take care of your family, Nishringadev. It's pretty amazing. So then, next verse is, well, who because Yamaraj told the Yamadutas,
No one can understand.
Yamaraj told the Yamadutas that Vishnu comes and devotees come to establish religious principles. So Yamadutas said, who? Who are the devotees? So then, what did the Yamaraj say?
Swayambhu Narada
Shambhu
Shambhu
Pralado Janako Vishwa
Kumaro
Kumaro
Kapilo
Kapilo
Balet
So he's speaking of I'm speaking. These are the guys who come to this world to establish Dharma. Brahma, Shukadev, Vyasadeva, Janak Rishi. Who's Janak Rishi?
Sita's father, Mother Sita's
Father of Sita Devi. From Janakapuri. He was so devoted and so religious, the great sages in India would go on yatra to visit Janakapuri, which is located where?
Nepal.
Nepal, on the northern border of Bihar. Mithila. It's called Mithila. It was a famous place. Sages would gather there under the protection and patronage of King Janak Maharaj, and would gather there not to preach to Janak Maharaj, but to hear Harikatha from Janak Maharaj. He was such a powerful devotee, such a realized great Vaishnava of the Lord. Janak Rishi, he was called a Raja Rishi. So he's one of the Mahajans, one of the great distributors of spiritual teachings of the truth of Dharma, Sakshat Dharma. And who else we got here? Prahlad Maharaj, Kapil Muni, Dwarka Maharaj, Shiva, Narada, Bali Maharaj, Vishnu. Bhagavatam is full of the teaching of these guys. Brahma's teaching is about the Bhagavatam, Shiva's teaching is about the Bhagavatam, Narada Muni. They're all featured in the Bhagavatam, actually featured in every Purana. Every Purana has the teaching of the Mahajans, the Manavas and the Mahajans, and the avatars. So, okay, let's see here. The important phrase here in Sanskrit in verse 21, what is it? Important Sanskrit phrase, what is it?
Goyam Vishuddham.
Well, I can't hear it. I'm hearing phrase. Phrase means more than one word.
Goyam Vishuddham Durbodham. Yam
Yatmamrutam.
Shastriji, you agree with that? What did she say?
Guhyam Vishuddham Durbodham Yam Gyatva Amritam Ashnute.
So that's the pada. I asked for phrase. I asked for arthapada. You gave a full pada, full line of verse. Guhyam means what?
Secret.
Vishuddha means what?
Divine, pure, very
You.
Transcendentally pure. What does buddhi mean?
intelligence.
What does dura mean?
Difficult.
Bad brain. Dura means bad, so dura bodham is what? What's it called in Sanskrit?
Cannot, dull brain cannot be understood.
What's the term in Sanskrit? Sandhi. Dur and buddhi becomes dur buddhi becomes dur bodham. Difficult brain. Cracked.
Difficult intelligence.
Difficult to find the intelligence. How do you say? You're amazing, Daoji. Your brain is so complicated, so complex. It's divided into two halves. In the right half of your brain, nothing's left.
It's like what Narayan Maharaj said to someone, we don't take names, you're too intelligent for your own good. This is Durboda.
Yeah. Too intelligent for your own good. Thank you for that addition. So the right side of the brain, nothing's left. The left side of the brain, nothing's right. That's great old saying.
Really good.
The unfortunate reality of that saying, it applies to everybody. It applies to me and you and all of us. What's that verse from first canto?
Sumanda Matiyo Manda Bhagya.
Prayanalpayu Shastabhya Kalo
Asmin Yuge Jana. Manda Sumanda Matiyo Manda Bhagya.
Manda Bhagya Bhagita.
Thank you. You know that one well.
Above all, always this.
It takes one to know one. That's another rate. It takes one to know it. He's abundant, so he knows abundance. No. That's the verse describing the glories of Kali Yuga.
For a change, I agree with you.
Yeah, your shoe fits wherever, right? Praying Alpha. Alpha praying means little, you don't live long. You live to be 60, 70, you're an old man.
Short lives, yes.
Short life. Praying Alpha.
You shall Sabhya.
Shabya.
Sabhya means everyone. Sabhya.
Everyone, sub-love.
Sabhya. Kalau Asmin Yuge Jana. In this Yuga.
Yeah, Kali Yuga. This
Manda
situation.
Sumanda Matayo.
Lazy,
Very lazy.
Lazy.
dark-minded.
Too lazy. Dull-minded.
Manda Bhagya.
Okay, welcome to the party. You're welcome. You're qualified. Come in the door. Here's your java beads. Here's your neck beads.
Chant and be happy.
Chant and be happy.
Chant and be happy. Everything's up. From here, everything is up. Because you can't get much lower than you are now. Remember, these principles are called nirgunya, nishtrigunya. They're above the modes of nature. Because there's dharma and there's dharma, which is there's sattvic dharma, there's rajasic dharma, there's tamasic dharma. There's something called vishuddha dharma. Vishuddha dharma is distinguished because it's transcendental and gives liberation. It doesn't give any fruits in the material world. It gets one moksha. It gives one moksha. The whole Vedic literature is full of yagyas and rituals. Rituals and yagyas for promotion. And promotion in this life and the next life, but all your lives will be in the material world of birth and death.
Traigunya Vishaya Veda, Nistraigunya Bhavarjuna.
Guys on a roll now. So I was Shogunrita files unfolded.
Oh, this kindergarten
Took a stem cell shot before class. You got new stem cells. Praise for okay, I'm impressed. So human beings are unaware of this transcendental knowledge. So Krishna comes directly or sends his special representative known as Sri Guru. Okay, that's about it for that one. Let's go on here. What else we got? Okay. What are two reasons why it's difficult to understand the spiritual truth? In verse 21. Commentary. Chapter 3, verse 21. Two reasons for durbodham, for difficult to understand. What are they?
Guhyam and Vishuddham.
Because mind is contaminated.
There's three reasons.
Because it's beyond the gunas.
It's most secret.
Yeah, that's right.
Sarvagayatamam. What does Krishna say in Gita? Krishna describes 4 secrets in Bhagavad Gita. What are they? There's 4 secrets. Guyam,
Guhyataram,
Guyataram,
Guhyatamam,
Guyataram.
Sarvagahyatamam.
So what's Guyam?
Secret. Confidential.
What is it? There's 4 different verses, 4 different concepts described throughout the Gita. One, the first one is Guyam. I think so. I don't know. I forgot. Hey, what's the most secret of all secrets? Krishna Bhakti, love of Krishna, is the most secret of all secrets. This you don't find in Purana, you don't find it anywhere but Bhagavad Purana. So everywhere you find karma and jnana and yoga and mysticism and yogi and puja and all kinds of dharma, ashram dharma and varna dharma. But only in Bhagavad Purana you find the prema dharma, the pure loving service of Krishna Vrindavan, like Radharani and Gopis. So one thing is it's most secret. That's why it's difficult to understand, because you can't find out very easily. Many people heard Bhagavad Gita. If you ask anybody who says they know Bhagavad Gita, say what's the most secret, biggest secret of Gita? Well, they won't know. Tell me one, there's 4 secrets, can you tell me one? No. Look at my article. Type in Google, 4 secrets in Gita, they'll find out. So, you don't understand, because the mind is contaminated with faults, beginning with artavad. What is artavad?
Getting the result, doing something for results.
Vad means speech, mayavad, dvaitavad. Speech, discussion, point of view. And artha means objective. So you have your opinion about the goal or the objective of the Vedas. That's called artavad. What's that verse from Mahabharata? Tarko Pratishta Shrutivivina.
Nasa Vrishiryasya Matam na Bhinnam. Dharmam tu Sakshat
Matam Vivinam. There's so many different opinions. Mata means intelligent opinion. Many opinions among rishis and sages.
Dharmam tu Sakshat Bhagavat Pranitam Mahajano Yana Gatasya.
Only Mahajans can give the conclusive truth. So it's very secret, and we have a tendency to give interpretation according to our conditioning and our programming and our contamination by the modes of nature. What's the third reason? Basically, it's most secret, and it's not described in all the books people study. Most people study Smriti Shastra. What is Smriti Shastra?
Mahabharata, Ramayana, Puranas, Ithasam, Puranas.
What does Smriti Shastras contain?
Stories.
Rules and regulations to worship Devatas and Vishnu for social promotion. Social promotion, physical elevation, and material success. That's it. Dharma, Artham. Only the Smritis deal with this thing. The Brahmins of India, what are most all the Brahmins called?
Smartha Brahmins.
Smartha Brahmins. What they teach, the Smritis. They teach morality, Niti Shastra, Manu Samhita, how to do this, how to atone for this sin, how to atone for that sin. You killed your uncle, so what can you do to get free from the reaction? It's all the karma, it's all karma kanda. It's karma kanya, it's all karma, karma dealing, let's say. I'll try and find a way to describe it. It's just dealing in karma. Do something bad, then do this good thing. Do something good, make it better. It's like rigging your karma, trying to adjust your karmic adjusting. So Smarta Brahmins are expert magicians. Tantrics and Karmakanda Brahmins, what are called Smartas, are expert jugglers. They juggle different karmic formulas and recommendations to adjust people's lives, to try and get some peace, try to get some happiness, try to get some success. But it's all cheating. Dharma approaches the Kaitava. It's Kaitava Dharma because they keep people trapped in the cycle of birth and death. But eventually, if you follow all these karmic conduct rituals and regulations, you get the blessing of Paramatma, you get some intelligence to ask, why am I suffering? I'm suffering because of ignorance and attachment. So how can I remove this ignorance and attachment? I have to go to a genuine Vaishnava Guru who can teach me about Bhagavan. Because only Bhagavan can give me mukti and liberation and freedom from all my ignorance and free me from all my attachments. Every Devata will keep me in ignorance and increase my attachment. Only the power of Devata will destroy your ignorance and destroy your attachment and give you his knowledge and give you his love and give you liberation to the Vaikuntha. Okay, let's see. Verse 24, commentary. He said, even you shout one name of Krishna incorrectly, it still destroys all sins. Ajamila was not chanting properly. He was going for his son. He is a very infamous sinner. He wasn't just some ordinary Shudra sinner. That sounds really funny. He chanted while suffering the pain of death, and not with a controlled mind, and he attained mukti. Not just destruction of his sins. This is the power of the holy name. So then Vishwanath explains in his commentary, he cites many verses about the power and glories of chanting Hare Krishna, Bhagavan Nam, Vishnu, Narayan, Ram, Krishna, etc. And he says, interesting point he makes, devotees are offenseless. What does this mean?
They avoided 10 offenses to the holy name.
What stage of bhakti development does one become called offenseless?
Nishta.
Nishta. So he said for a nishtita bhakta, people his or her chant the holy name, the result will give them prema. So on page 76. And those who have offenses by chanting the holy name, what will they get?
Offenseless chanting.
Come to the Nishta and Prem.
Yeah, that's what you said, right?
Yeah, offenseless chanting.
Those that are full of offenses, they get free from their offenses, they come to Nishta, which is pretty much sends you pretty quickly towards the elevated stage of devotion. What does the Ajamila story teach? It teaches that by chanting even now last once, one can get Sloka, Sayuja, and other types of mukti. That's the glories and power of the holy name. Okay, let's see what else. This is basically a repeat of chapter 2, kind of. That's like verse 30. This is I'm just mentioning this to create a certain sense of responsibility among disciples, because Yamaraj was a little upset with his followers. Like gurus sometimes get upset with their followers, which are called shishya or disciples. So Yamaraj wasn't very happy with the Yamadutas. Why?
Because
Because of improper behavior.
they were attacking
They're offensive.
Ajamila.
And offensive, yes.
And he says that, in other words, he preached them out of the glory's holy name, then he reprimands them. You guys are stupid. You insulted the Vishnudutas. That's what he says here. He said you mistreated these great devotees, you mistreated them. You argued with them, you challenged them. So Yamaraj Vishnath says in his commentary of verse 30, Yamaraj considered the offenses of his servants to be his own offenses. So that's why he said that this is a big problem that gurus often have with the disciples. Disciples are offensive to other disciples, to other people, devotees. And those offenses are connected, or reaction comes to the guru also. So the guru is that's why guru is always talking about sadachar. Although the guru has to face a lot of offenses from his own disciples because of ignorance. But he considers it like a mother, baby passes through on the mother, and the mother doesn't beat up the baby. The mother tolerates the stool of the baby and cleans her clothes and keeps serving the baby. So the guru tolerates the unlimited offenses of disciples and continues to do the seva without reacting or responding. But the idea that should be conveyed here is the disciples should grow up and should learn, first of all, learn Vaishnava Sadachar by studying, and a lot of Vaishnava Sadachar is contained in Hari Bhakti Vilas, which is a humongous book to go through. I think I sent a PDF file. I sent a PDF file to all disciples of Hari Bhakti Vilas. I don't know if they ever read it. It's a pretty big thing to read. But there's a lot of amazing things over here. I read the whole book, believe it or not. Because, I have to. You're a teacher, you have to know what's it's quite detailed. A lot of extraneous things, but a lot of very important principles of devotion and behavior. And if you're humble and sensitive and free from false ego, you can learn a lot from your God brothers and senior God brothers and God sisters and Vaishnavas you meet here and there. So I was struck with this. It reminded me of a point which is very close to home. Yamaraj was a little embarrassed by the behavior of the Yamadutes. They're named after him, They're just the Dutas, just the Mayapuris or something like that. Said he wouldn't mind, but the Dutas,
Yamadutas.
the Yamadutas. It's like somebody says, you're just devotees. Somebody says, what are you doing? No, we're not, we're just devotees.
Then okay.
That is okay. But you say, who's your guru? And you say, me, oh God. And then they say, I'm one of your disciples. I don't have any disciples. That's impossible. I don't understand. Really? Yeah, what do you mean? What's up? What happened? No, he's You gotta play it safe.
Yes.
I met with your sons. What are you talking about? Where? It's not possible. Oh, I'm an initiator. God, you're really willing. Who was the guy? Guys, go into that. Go into that. What do you do? Oh, that's terrible. What did you say? I chastised him. That's good. They don't say anymore. One time Srimad Bhagavatam 1989. I was, and some guy came in Prabhupada's kitchen. I was making an offering to Prabhupada. He had a book in his hand. He said, "Have you seen this book?" I said, "Yeah, I've seen it." He said, "Do you know anything about it?" I said, "Yeah, I read it." He said, I'm trying to find the author." I said, "Why?" He said, "I want to meet him." And the name of the book was Appreciating Vrindavan Dham. And the author was Mahanidhi Swami. I said, "Why?" I said, "I read the book, I really like it, I want to thank him." So I said, "Oh, I think he lives in ISKCON." I said, "Go look in ISKCON, he's not down here." He went away, came back 3 days later.
3 years later.
He came back, he said, you're the guy, why you sent me?" I said, "It was fun, though. I said, I just having fun. You know, if you really like me, you'll come back. If not, you'll never come back." No loss to me, no loss to you. Guy looked at me, what? That was this guy. So, you know, let's try to behave ourselves. That's the bottom line. So, the commentary of Prabhupada says, Yamaraj thought himself responsible for the offenses committed by his servants. This is Prabhupada's comment. If a servant makes a mistake, the boss is responsible. Nyaya Shastra says, if a servant makes a mistake, the master is punishable because he's responsible for the offense. So taking this seriously, Yamaraj and his servants, Yamadutas, prayed with folded hands to be excused by Narayan. That's what that verse 30 says. Pretty interesting. Just imagine this situation here. Imagine you come to meet your guru. And you tell him, he heard something you did, some nonsense you did or saw. And he said he feels very bad, you made this offense to that Vaishnava. So now let's pray to Krishna. Let's pray to Krishna that he forgives you and I for making that offense. That's what Yamaraj is saying in verse 30. I beg your pardon, Lord Narayan. You are supremely merciful and always full of good qualities. Please pardon us. We offer our spirit. So Yamaraj is saying, please pardon. Yamaraj wasn't even there. He didn't make any offense. But he was there by his expansion. Guru is disciple, disciple is guru. What's that verse? Mantra 2:6.
Yo mantra sa guru sakshat, yo guru sa hari swayam.
Yeah, but it's verse it's in its verse book also. From Ajamila Tantra. It says, the mantra is the guru is the mantra. And the mantra is Krishna.
Guru is Krishna, Krishna.
Guru is Krishna, Krishna is the mantra is the guru, mantra. So when you chant the Diksha mantra, it's not different from Guru, not different from Krishna. So the disciple's offense is the Guru's offense. It's an important point to know. Okay, let's go on. Verse 32, Vishnu said, even though you chance with offense, will still become perfect, because bhakti itself is perfect. And the bhakti of chanting will eventually purify that devotee through the contamination of ignorance and meaning of sin to begin with, made to make offenses. But the mind will become purified slowly. So then verse 33. Devotees with or without offenses should perform only bhakti, no form of atonement. So when you make offenses, the remedy is to keep chanting. You keep chanting, and eventually the offense will go, and the name will be pleased, and give you wisdom and knowledge. That's chapter 3. Now let's go to chapter 4. Chapter 4 is called Hansa Guya prayers. What's it called in Sanskrit? So what are Hansa Guya prayers? The chapter summary. Krishna says, this whole Bhagavatam, 6th canto, describes one of the 10 subjects of the Bhagavatam. One of the 10 subjects of any prana. Every prana has 10 different subjects. So what subject does the 6th canto story describe?
Creation?
No.
Maintenance.
Poshana, which is translated as protection, is full of stories of protection. Give me an example.
Ajamila. Oh, this canto, yes.
6th canto, there's
called-
10, every Puranic literature, Vishnu Purana, Skanda Purana, Bhagavad Purana, contains 10 subject matters: creation, avatars, manus, etc. One is protection,
Yes, good.
called Poshana. Poshana means nourishment. But if you're killed, you can't get nourished. If you're protected, then you get nourished. Protection is a kind of nourishment. Anyway, sometimes that's what it's called. So, 6th canto has the stories of devotees getting protected. First one is,
Ajamila.
what's the second one?
Chitraketu.
Chitraketu. What's next?
Vritrasura.
Vrishasura. What's
Indra.
next?
Indra.
Indra. It goes on like this. Indra got Narayan Kavacha, Vrishasura got the thunderbolt, so he got liberated by Indra. So he wanted that, so he got protected. Because who is Vrishasura?
Chitraketu.
Chitraketu. So he came back to his position as a Gandharva, I think he's the king of Gandharvas or something. So, this describes how Daksha was born from the Prachetas. He chanted this prayer to get power and blessing of Vishnu to do his seva of creation. He was more interested in population than liberation. So, then, the whole wild story, not wild story, but very amazing story is summarized here in BBT summary of chapter 4. Yeah, that's good, thank you. They were the sons of King Prachinavari, called Prachetas. They did austerities, and while they were gone doing austerities, the planet became full of trees, and there was no food grains, and the whole earth planet was a forest. They were under the ocean doing austerity. They got angry seeing the situation, so they burned up the place to ashes. The moon god, why did the moon get involved?
He is the source of plants, vegetables.
Yeah, he gives life to all the vegetables. Taste and life, Somaras. So he's kind of like the god of vegetation. The sun and moon both, but the moon especially. So he feels some responsibility for the trees and plants. So he told the Rasitas to chill out, to stop that. Don't be angry. So he had to distract them. They were hell-bent on burning the place down. So the best way to distract even sages is show one woman. So someone knows himself because he has 27 girlfriends, 27 wives, and additional here and there pick up. He's open to increasing the number whenever opportunity comes. He's a very dashing figure. He's a Brahmin, he's very handsome. Mahanidhi, so on. So girls like attracted to him and he doesn't say no. So he said, listen you guys, stop burning down the trees, because one of these trees contains your dream boat.
Yeah.
The girl of your dreams is in one of these trees. So he brought her out, what's her name? Her name was Rikshi or something like that.
Some Lochana.
I think it's Rikshi. Rikshi means tree, you know. Rikshi. I forget. Soma, it says here that Soma distracted them from burning up the place, burning up the earth, by giving them a girl, an Apsara, daughter of Locha. So her name was from Lochi. What's the daughter of Parvati? So then they got busy. They stopped burning up the lake. They got burned up. So, Daksha over all these prayers is called Sakama Bhakti, big Kama. And Vishnu was pleased and appeared before him. He channeled these Hansagriya prayers. We'll look at some of those prayers in a few minutes. And he gave him a lot of power and fulfillment of his desire to propagate the earth planet. Oh, the Lord and Vishnu offered, he offered Daksha a girl named Aksikni. Probably somehow behavior or something. Aksikni. Interesting name. So let's see what's in this chapter. So, okay, let's see here. I think I summarized it. Okay, that's fine. So, which is all these prayers. Basically, this is the way the prayers work. You want something from some Devata or Vishnu or whoever, you have all kinds of prayers of glorifying them in a genuine, honest way. Then you attract the attention of the Devata or Bhagavan. And then they come to you and say, what do you want? They say, I want this tonight. Okay, take it. You go on, they go on. That's the way it works. So let's look at verse 29. Chapter 4. This is an interesting idea here. Because he's saying all these Daksha, Prajapati Daksha, is saying all these very beautiful Sanskrit verses. Very beautiful verses actually. That he's reciting from a collection called Hansagriya prayers, which I don't know whether Hansavatar wrote those or were written by Narada Muni. I don't know the history of that prayer. Hansagriya prayer. But apparently it's a prayer from some Puranic literature, Hansagriya prayer, that if you chant it, you can make Vishnu happy. So Daksha was advised to chant this prayer. So one of the verses from Hansagriya Prarthana, prayer of Hansagriya, is verse 29. Read the Sanskrit.
Yadyaniruktam vachasa nirupitam diyakshabhirva manasota yasya ma bhutsvarupam gunarupam hi tatta savai gunapaya visarga lakshanaha.
Read the translation also.
I offer respects to Krishna, whose form cannot be defined by words, intelligence, senses or mind, since their products are material, and who is the cause of creation and destruction of all matter.
So what he's saying there, I'm saying all these prayers from this Hansagriya, but one of the prayers itself is saying, and that prayer Hansagriya, whoever wrote it is saying, I can't, what words can I use to describe you? You're indescribable. Let's look at Prabhupada's translation. It's rather elaborate. I guess he kind of makes a lot of commentary in the translation. We can read it though. But I think it brings out, makes the point very clear. Anything expressed by material vibrations, which means words, anything ascertained by material intelligence, and anything experienced by material senses or concocted within the material mind is but a creation of the modes of material nature. Therefore has nothing, cannot touch, has nothing to do with the real nature of God, Bhagavan. Bhagavan is beyond the creation of this material world, for he is the source of the material qualities and creation. As the cause of all causes, he exists before creation and after creation. I wish to offer my respectful obeisance unto him. Vishnu's commentary. Words and intelligence are all made of Maya. Whatever is concluded by people using them is also Maya. That cannot be Krishna's form. That is expressed in this verse. What is indicated by words, what is distinguished by intelligence, what is perceived by the senses, and what is imagined by the mind is not the form of Bhagavan Sri Krishna. Vishnu goes on. Thus when it says that the Lord cannot be explained, it means by words which are not favored by the Lord. Thus the Shrutis say that Bhagavan is realized by concentrated intelligence, not by mere intelligence. In other words, it's not by words, it's not by intelligence, it's by sporti. They say revelation. The Bible has a section called Revelation. Isn't it? That's not Revelations, some chapter. Anyone read the Bible?
It's the last book of the Bible.
Thank you. It's the last book of the Bible called Revelation. So Revelation is a sporti. Vishnu quotes a famous verse, which people say is from the Padma Puran, but it's hard to find it. But it's quoted by Bhakti-Rasini Sindhu.
Ata Sri Krishna Namadi
Tat Shri Krishna Namadi
Nabhavet Grahyamindriya Sevan Mukhe Jivado Swayameva Suratyada.
We can try to understand Bhagavan with words and intelligence, but ultimately, by that effort, that devotional effort, we attract the mercy of Bhagavan, and he shows himself. He gives us the words to describe him. So when we read description of Bhagavan by those who had sporti of Bhagavan, then you're getting the real picture. That's why I often say it's important to look at who the writer of a book is. Because if the writer of the book is Rupa Goswami, or Vishnu Chakravarti or Jiva Goswami, they've had sportis of Krishna. They had darshan of Krishna. So their words are favored by Krishna. See the phrase he used. Words that are not favored by Bhagavan do not have power to reveal Bhagavan. So then he explains, how do you know how do you know that someone's words or writing have been favored by Bhagavan? Then he says, this is how you know, how you measure. The person has swarti. So sometimes people ask me about books. Oh, what do you think of books of so-and-so? I said, I don't read them. They said, why? I don't consider a person qualified to write about this subject. I don't consider a person had experience to write on this subject. So this is what Vishnu is saying. Get the swarti, then write. So what is the example for the Bhagavatam itself?
Vyasadeva.
Yeah, Vyasadeva, what did he do?
He writes Bhagavatam again.
How many times did he write the Bhagavatam?
2 times.
So what the first time wasn't successful because he didn't have swarti of Braj Lila. So then he went into meditation, deep meditation, had swarti of Braj Lila. He saw Braj Lila. And then he wrote, what did he write in? The second time he wrote the Bhagavatam was what?
In trance.
Samadhi Bhashya.
Samadhi Bhashya.
Bhashya means words, language. He was in Samadhi when he wrote, again, the Bhagavatam. In Brazil, with all the different rasas and babas coming out. He wrote Vishnu Puran, as Brazil. He wrote Padma Puran. Yesterday he wrote Padma Puran as Astakaya Padma Puran. Astakaya is described in Padma Puran. Original. But it wasn't satisfying to Vyasdev. He wrote all those days, it wasn't satisfying. He wrote 18 Puranas, Bhagavad Puran, Skanda Puran, Vishnu Puran. Every Purana is Krishna Lila. But something missing, the Ras, Brja Ras, Madhuri Ras. So then he got the swarti and he wrote. Anyway, I just want to make that point. That's a very interesting verse. Now look at verse 31. Read it Sanskrit.
यशक्तयो वदतां वादिनां वै विवादसंवाद भुवो भवन्ति कुर्वन्ति चैषां मुहुरात्ममोहं तस्मै नमोऽनन्त गुणाय भूम्ने. I offer respects to Bhagavan of eternal qualities, whose material energy is the cause of agreement and disagreement among those who make philosophies and then argue with others, and whose material energy continually bewilders them as to the real nature of art.
Wrong. Vivad Sambad. Agreement means Sambad, and Vivad means against my Vad. My Vad means my speech. Sam means we have Sambandha, we have connection. You're connected with my speech. You agree with me, or some means equal, we're bound together. Sambad. Ramananda, what do they say?
Ramananda Sambad.
Ramananda Sambad. The exchange of friendly, agreeable conversations between Mahaprabhu and Ramananda Roy. It's called Sambad. Ramananda Roy, Ramananda Sambad. But Vivad, that's trouble. That's GBC and me. Vivad. They say one thing, I don't agree. So let's see Prabhupada's commentary on verse 31. It's really hard hitting. Really like it.
Welcome to the club. You're not the only one.
Yeah. You know what the name of that club is? Sore Losers Club. Sore Losers Club. Since time immemorial, that's a long time, or since the creation of the cosmic manifestation, conditioned souls have formed various parties of philosophical speculation. But this is not true of devotees. Oh, really? I don't know about that. Non-devotees have different idea of creation, maintenance, and annihilation. Therefore, they are called vadis, prativadis, samvadis, and vivadis. Mahabharata describes this whole idea. Darko Vrijistha Shrividina Yudhisabhishiriyasya Matam Navina
Dharmo Hutesha Dharmo Setatvam Nihitam Guhayam
Jayena Gatasya Banta Sramasya Tatvam Guhitam Nihayam, living in the secret cave of the heart. Philosophy means finding the ultimate cause. That's a pretty good definition of philosophy. Freud's philosophy, Aristotle, Plato, Hegel, Heisenberg, this one, Heidelberg, so many philosophers, Franz Kafka. Philosophy means finding the ultimate cause. Vedanta Sutra says, Atata Brahma Jignasa. Human life is meant for understanding the ultimate cause, which is Brahman. Devotees accept the ultimate cause is Krishna, because all the Vedas come to this conclusion. Krishna himself says, Ham Sarvasya Prabhupada. And the source of everything. Devotees have no problems understanding the ultimate cause of everything. There are countless philosophies throughout the world, each one of them contradicting the other. Okay, welcome home. That's wherever you are, that's where you are. Let's go on here. Okay. So, in verse 40, we find it Dakshika Darshan of Vishnu. So it's always interesting to read about how different devotees and different personalities get darshan, what their response is. What is the general response of everyone who gets darshan?
Faint.
They faint. So that says something. And it describes the heavy, high voltage of getting darshan of Bhagavan, Vishnu, Krishna, etc. The devotee faints. And that's described in Madhurya Kanamani also. So Krishna presents that as a basic tattva. Bhagavan darshan equals pralaya. Pralaya means destruction, fainting, loss of consciousness. So what happened to Daksha, verse 40? Well, he fell on the ground, fainted. You call it Dhanavad, so I call it fainting. He was unconscious and deaf and dumb. What does it say in 41?
He could not speak at all.
You were dumb.
Yeah, dumb.
So you're lying doing Dhanavad, and you still say Haribo.
Yeah. Which means he's
You say
fainted.
Vanchko, there is everything. He couldn't speak, he was unconscious.
Fainted.
fainted. He sensed they were overwhelmed with bliss. I really like, well, personally, I have an intense desire of darshan of Krishna. I really think it's a good idea. I really would love to have that fortune. So whenever I read about someone getting darshan, I really get excited. I don't really so much care of the story, the philosophy, but the experience. Verse 9th chapter Gita. Rajavidya.
Rajavidya Rajaguhyam Pavitramidam.
Dharma.
Pratyaksha Vagamam.
Pratyaksha Bhagavan Dharma. Pratyaksha Dharma. This Dharma, this religious experience, this religious perfection is directly experienced. Pratyaksha means completely experienced with eyes, mind, ears, touch, everything. That's called darshan. So that's what bhakti leads to. Bhakti leads to Bhav. Bhav makes you eligible for darshan. And darshan, it manifests directly in prema and indirectly in Bhava is 14, he's 40. So you read, whenever I read the Bhagavatam, I always particularly pay attention to so much philosophy and storyline and prayers and all that. But what happened? Who did he see? How did he respond? Very interesting to me. Now, you guys know? There's another page now. I'm asking a question.
Yes.
I'm saying it's very interesting to me and captivating. I read it over and over again, try to enter into the scene and feel what Daksha felt. We'll see what he sees. He saw Vishnu with 8 arms. If I see Vishnu with 2 arms, I'll faint. If I see Krishna with 2 arms, I'll faint. Maybe 1 arm, I'll faint. Maybe he may be behind a tree, holding a tree and sticking his foot out. I just see a smile, one arm with a foot. I'll faint. But I see 2 arms and 1 arm. It's me. That's all I want, not even that 1 arm. The doctor's got 8 arms like. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. My God. You know, it's drama. It's drama. Exchange of sentiments and Brahmachari Baba's hair standing and tears falling, skin bumps of thrill all over the body. You know, it's an experience. You become taratmiya with it, to get into it. I'm just saying. I have a phrase very common now, just saying. So I'm just saying. You know, the Bhagavatam is pictures, it's Lilas, it's exchanges. Bhagavan and Bhagavatas. Srimad Bhagavatam. Beautiful Bhagavatam, beautiful devotees. Okay, Daksha. We look down at Daksha. Daksha, he's an offender, and he's Sakama Bhakta, and he's so lusty, and he just wants to make kids all the time. And so he's really fallen, not like me, I'm not interested in any of that stuff. You bring me 1,000 girls, let us know. A long way. No interest, no attraction. That guy, that poor Daksha. Poor Daksha. Who is he and who are you? What did he attain? What are you attaining? You're attaining nothing. Some sand. There's some sand in your hand. And he's got darshan of Vishnu directly, speaking to him. Very amazing person. Srimad Bhagavatam. Beautiful Bhagavata, beautiful devotee, beautiful personality. Amazing life, amazing experience, amazing seva. What is amazing about our life?
Nothing.
Nothing. What is our amazing seva? Nothing. What is our amazing experience? Nothing. We eat, we sleep, whatever else we do, we figure it out. We fight, we argue, we criticize, we gossip. This is not good. What happened to Dhruva Maharaj in 4th Canto when he saw Krishna, Vishnu?
Dumb. He could not speak.
Another guy went dumb. He went dumb. How he started speaking?
Vishnu touched conch.
Shankar Kapala Swarsha versus there. Shankar Kapala Swarsha. Kapala means cheek. Sometimes it's translated wrong. Say he touched his head with his conch shell. I've seen translated like that. Kapala, he touched his cheek. Because where do you speak? Do you speak from your head? I heard translation of Bhagavatam. Lord Vishnu touched Dhruva on the head with his conch shell. Now, you don't speak through your head, you know. We have a phrase about talking through your hat. You're talking through your hat, that's like, it's so, like you're speaking Jude, lies, Jude Bolo. So he touched the cheek is where you speak from, mouth, cheek. Kapala, Shankar Kapala Swarsha. He touched the cheek with his concept, 5-year-old kids start speaking Sanskrit Swarsha. He's not a Brahmin, he's a Kshatriya. He just knows the sound of bowstrings and sword striking. Boom, boom. He doesn't know about Sanskrit, chandas and this meter, that meter, it's like, read real verses. So, he couldn't speak at all for a doctor. Let's go on. This is a great verse, fantastic verse. 46. Do you see how fantastic it is? Your hair standing head? You could, I think your hair standing head. You got a top knot on your head. Your braid became a top knot. Okay, TV antenna. What's so astonishing about this verse?
Austerity is my heart.
It's pretty far away from most of us, huh? Read Sanskrit.
Tapo me hridayam brahmam tanur vidya kriya kriti angani krita vochata dharma atma savasura.
I saw one. Two-liner. Austere verse. So it's Dopada. So what's the Sanskrit say? Tapo me hridayam. My heart is tapasya. Who's speaking? Bhagavan Vishnu speaking to Daksha. My body is Vedic wisdom and mantras. Nimitic karmas and yajnas are my rupam form. Sacrifice are my arms and legs. My mind is the result of yajnas, good fortune. And devatas are my panchapran. This is describing the, Krishna says, Vishnu is describing his form according to Karma Yoga. Let's see Prabhupada's translation. Interesting how he translates the word tapa. What does tapa mean in Sanskrit?
Fire.
Tapa means austerities like mental control, mystic yoga, meditation. Generally people think tapa means fasting. There's two terms. Fasting is,
Brata.
I think fasting comes under the term brata. Generally people translate tapa as austerity, and they say austerity is fasting. That's not correct. Austerity, fasting is part of a larger, it's an aspect of a brata. A subset of a brat is called fast. Ekadasi brat, fasting. Karti brat, fasting. Chaturmasya, fasting. But tapa is actually meditation, controlling the mind. Because the mind is burning.
Samsara Davan.
Samsara Davan, Ala Lila. Davan Ala means forest fire. The mind is burning with Kamesha, Krodesha, Rajaguna, Samudbhava. Thank you. The mind, Gita Krishna says, the mind is burning with passion, which results in lust and greed. Lust and greed are brother and sister. I don't know who's the sister, who's the brother.
Both are bad.
Both are bad. A bad combination. If you ask a woman, she'll say lust is the man, greed is the woman. If you ask a man, he'll say lust is the woman, greed is the man. But basically, they're a bad couple. Not desirable association. So I like that. So Prabhupada's translation, Vishnu said, Daksha, austerity is in the form of meditation is my heart. Vague knowledge in the form of hymns and mantras constitute my body. And spiritual activities, this is how Prabhupada describes it. He says, Tanar Vidya, Kriya Kriti. Spiritual activities and ecstatic emotions are my actual form. That's pretty good. Angani Krata, what is it?
Angani Krata.
Kriya means spiritual activities. Kriti means form. Angani means body. I really like Prabhupada's translation. Ritualistic ceremonies and sacrifices. That's Kratu. Third line. Angani Kratu means yajna, sacrifice. Kratu Jata. Ritualistic means karma kanda, yajnas and pujas and sacrifices. When properly performed are my arms and legs. The unseen good fortune proceeding from spiritual actions or material piety constitutes my mind, and devatas who carry out my orders in various departments of my life and soul. They're my Atma. Sura, Dharma, Abhasura. Beautiful Sanskrit. Devas are my Atma. That's right, beautiful wisdom. So how to see the form of Krishna? Prabhupada gives a commentary. So how do you see the form of Krishna? Very interesting idea. Intelligent persons can see the form of Krishna in his personal form as described in Shastra. But if one is very eager to see Krishna, immediately face to face, the person can see Krishna through this description, which portrays the various internal and external parts of the body. Now this is a very significant commentary, and this verse is very significant. Because it means, when we read the script, there's something called Nam Dhyan, Rupa Dhyan, Guna Dhyan, and Lila Dhyan. Meditating on the name of Krishna and chanting with concentration. Meditating on the form of Krishna and meditating on the qualities of Krishna, meditating on the Lilas of Krishna. So, Vishnu is telling Daksha, you can see my form by meditation. So when we read descriptions in Govinda Lilamrita and Madan Lila, the parrots describing Krishna's form and qualities, and Radharani's form and qualities, by reading those over and again, reading those and meditating, we'll see that form. So this is what Prabhupada is telling us, and many other acharyas are saying the same thing, because Vishnu itself is saying, Tapal me vidiyam. Tapal means by meditation is my heart. By meditating, you'll see the form of that heart. Austerity to form meditation on me, so then Prabhupada's commentary on that is, intelligent person can see Krishna, it's described in Shastra, immediately face to face through descriptions of him. You got what I'm saying? Understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
You read descriptions of Krishna's form, you can see face to face.
Yes.
I published a little book which is an excerpt from chapter 16 of Art of Chanting called Meditation on Radha Govinda's Divine Forms of Lotus Feet. And there's a summary of Rupa Chintamani. There's a summary of a book by Vishwanath Chakravarti called Rupa Chintamani in the book, plus excerpts of meditation on the full form of Shamasundara Radharani, plus the marks in her feet and what they mean, rather extensive. So by reading those descriptions of the form of Radha and Krishna over and over again, eventually you see them. Even I have one disciple who's always meditating on the feet of Radha and Krishna and seeing them when he chants Japa. So this is possible. The description of words of the absolute form of Krishna become visible in pictures in the mind as a spurti by the mercy of Krishna. Intelligent person can see Krishna, personal form, through descriptions of immediately, face to face. It's so emphatic. Prabhupada's commentary is very emphatic. You know what emphatic means? Emphasis. Very bold and powerful. It's like he's shouting from the mountaintop. Intelligent person can see God. We're so dull we read this, we're sleeping half the time when we read the books, you know. But when you read it with an alert brain and an open heart and mind, the words jump out of the page. You see Krishna dancing on the page, you know. In his personal form, as stated in Shastra, go into the Amrita Bhavanamrita, it says, Krishna Bhavana Sara. But if one is very eager, you have intelligence and your eagerness, utsaha, to see Krishna, immediately, face to face, one will see Krishna through this description in Shastra. Then there are spiritual activities. What is he called? Kriya. Kriya means action, like Kriya, which includes study of Vedas, knowledge, meditation on Krishna, and chanting Hare Krishna Bhagavan. All right, Prabhupada Ki Jai. I read Bhagavad Gita as it is, 1974. I finished 6 chapters and I closed the book. I said, okay. There's 12 more chapters to go. The book is this fat. I had enough. I said, okay, it's a great book. There's only 3 lessons in this book. Chant Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, join ISKCON, and take initiation from a guru. Probably Prabhupada. And then if you read from chapter 7 to 18, you close book at chapter 18, you say, now I read the whole book. There's 3 lessons in this book. Chant Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, join ISKCON, and take a guru, preferably Prabhupada. So that's what I did. A year later, I gave myself a year to break myself into the idea of being crazy. That was a good decision. It was good to go crazy. I haven't come back yet. I'm going, and I'm still on my way. Okay. Yeah, I really keep guys out. He's got a collective expression of the collective mind. His mother was a mother. If that isn't Freudian, what is Freudian? What's that verse? That's 46.
That's good. 46.
Okay. I'm going to conclude class now because I'm tired of speaking and everybody else is also tired of listening. But one thing I want to say, well, we're on 46 now. Where's my page marker? Is it out here or is it page marker?
Page mark.
Yes, good.
Okay. We can do it next week. But what I want to remind you of this idea of austerity. There's a problem with austerity. Because the whole life of a bhakta is austere. Getting up at 3 o'clock in the morning is not, not for weaklings. You have to have a strong mind and fine intelligence to have that determination. But thousands of boys around the world get up every day at 3 o'clock and do bhajan. So follow the 4 regular principles. All these are great austerities. So they're very much attracting the heart of Krishna. But one negative aspect of austerity is you get profit. And Vishnu, Vishnu, in Madhurya Kadambini, he describes the danger of austerity. He describes the danger of bhakti bhajan in general. Because we want to become steady in bhakti bhajan, but there's something called unsteady nishta bhakti and unsteady anishtita bhakti. So one of the pitfalls that often takes down devotees is called Taranga Rangani. Taranga Rangani. Taranga means waves. Waves. Bhava Taranga, waves of material existence, ocean of material existence. And Rangani means to enjoy. Ranga means to dance, to enjoy, to take pleasure in, to enjoy the waves of bhakti. Bhakti Taranga Rangani. What does it mean? It means I become popular. I become famous. My Facebook gets so many likes and I get famous. Then we enjoy the profit, the adoration, distinction. And this is the cause of fall down, the Nishita Bhakti. So he describes this in the second shower of Madhurya Kadambini, where he describes anartha liberty. So it's an anartha, because we should be careful of the tendency to enjoy the popularity. Always, like I always say, two things that we should always remember, especially when you're getting praised or getting recognized. Should always remember, Krishna is in my heart, doing everything, and Guru's feet are on my head. In other words, my head is at the feet of my Guru. So, if somebody has their foot on my head, where am I? I'm on the ground, because the feet are on the ground. I mean, so under his feet, I'm not in a I'm very low position. And if he wants to, he can crush my head and break it in 1,000 pieces. So that's first of all, so if one's always visualizing that idea and thinking that idea, he'll never get proud or puffed up. And he always, where am I? This is where I am. I'm there, Padaratam. I'm at the feet of my Guru. was it Aidina Dharana? No, what the Shikshastra?
Ainandata Nijakun.
Yeah. Aidana Padidam.
Vishame Bhavambado, Krupyata Upada Pankaja.
Sita Dui Sadisham Vichintia. I'm seated on particle dust at your feet. So that keeps you in humble position. And you're always remembering Krishna heart. He's the intelligence, he's the doer, everything goes to him and the guy. All the praise go to the guy inside my heart and the guy on my head. I'm in the middle. I'm in the middle of the feet of my Guru and Krishna. So then you can't get carried away. You always Jai Gurudev. You always think Gurudev, Jai Shri Krishna, Jai Gurudev. So he said, Sharangarangani, the very nature of bhakti, it becomes popular and becomes wealthy. Money comes to them. Facilities like profit, money, respect, and distinction are weeds around the bhakti lata bija. That are compared to small waves in the ocean of bhakti. In this stage, the devotee doing bhajan seeks pleasure rising from these waves. Hence it's called Sarangarangani. So, we get austerity, we do us. One thing is, they say, it's called the Niti Shastra. Study should be done with two or more. Study your Shastra. Austerity should be done alone. You don't say, oh, my girlfriend's coming over to Sunday Ekadasi with me. Forget it. It's a no-no. Stay alone. You're going to some group function for a kirtan. So there's 10 people or more, then you go to some all-night kirtan or harikata, whatever. But 2 people, 3 people, that's not intelligent. That's not austerity. You'll find it doesn't work. Austerity, I used to say, I forget the Sanskrit, but austerity should be done alone and kept to yourself. Don't tell anyone what you've done. I did this, I did that. Saying Hare Krishna mantra is austerity. It's the heart of Krishna. Remember this verse. Say, what does it say?
Tapaso me hridayam. Tapo me hridayam.
Tabo me
Hridayam.
Tabo me hridayam. Tapa is my heart. So saying Hare Krishna is tapasya. It's the heart of Krishna. Fasting is tapasya. It's the heart of Krishna. Any bhakti bhajan is the heart of Krishna. So, being austerity should be done alone and kept to yourself. And bring Bhakti Chandrika. Never talk about your bhajan. Never talk about your swartis. On Shanksy, we're answering 2 prayers a day. Go to somebody asks you, you're doing it. I don't know. Just don't even admit to it. Don't even put your name on. Don't put your tag on. How are you doing your Joikasi? Who said that? I'm trying to remember Krishna, that's all. That's it. Because the tendency is always assertion. I want to assert myself. It's called ahankar, false ego. I'm big, I'm great, I'm special. I'm better than you. It's a very common thing in conversation. Like somebody says, I just came back from Christmas holidays. Where did you go? Well, I went to, what's that tiger reserve?
Ranthambore.
Ranthambore. I went to Ranthambore. I rode a tiger in the jungle. It was fun. Okay, cool. At least you came back. You didn't become Bokora. So, first of all, that's really nice. Let me tell you where I went on my vacation. Where we went. I went to Africa safari for 2 weeks. Africa safari. Yeah, well, you're bigger than me. I just rode a tiger in UP, you know. You went all the way to Africa and rode an elephant and chased a tiger and wrestled with an alligator. So everyone is trying one-upmanship. Everyone's trying up the ante. I'm bigger, I'm better. So this is the problem with austerity. in this Tarangarangani, Bhakti Tarangarangani. So we always have to wear around our neck a famous verse.
Trinadapi
Trinadapi Snichena Tori Vaseshna Manina Mandena Kirtanaya Sadahari. Srimad Bhagavatam ki Jai Jai Shri